Texas Tech Athletics Director Kirby Hocutt is responding to the fallout from this week's ruling in a lawsuit involving quarterback Brendan Sorsby. Hocutt says Tech supports Sorsby's recovery from a clinically diagnosed addiction, but the university did not file or fund his lawsuit against the NCAA. He says Sorsby has not played a down for Tech and will miss the first 2 games of the 2026 season, and what comes after that depends on his recovery. Hocutt says the school put a clinical and compliance plan in place even before that ruling. He argues keeping Sorsby in the Tech community with treatment and monitoring is best because pulling him out does not protect him. He says Tech will continue to be transparent and put students first.